Welcome back to Out channel. In this video, we explore the most valuable US coins that could transform your coin collection into a fortune. From rare mint errors to historic treasures, these coins have made millions for collectors around the world. Welcome to the world of rare quarters, where pocket change can transform into generational wealth. Somewhere in America, right now, someone has a rare 1987 mint mark George Washington quarter, and they don't even know it. It's probably sitting in a sock drawer. Maybe a coffee can. Maybe your junk drawer. The 1987 quarter is no ordinary coin. Minted in Philadelphia, this elusive piece was never meant to be silver. But due to a rare minting error, a handful were struck in 90% silver, meant for collector's sets, but somehow slipped into circulation. How does a mistake like that happen in the US Mint? Honestly, someone might have been having a very bad Monday. Only a few of these silver-struck quarters were ever found. One recently made headlines after being valued at $675,000 at auction. FOMO, think about it. What if you've spent one of these coins on a coffee? A parking meter? A vending machine Snickers bar? Painful thought, huh? Here's the truth, most people have no idea that they might be sitting on a gold mine. If you're between 30 and 65, chances are high you've inherited old coins, collected some yourself, or maybe just never got around to checking those old quarter rolls in the attic. Collectors and auction houses are going wild for this coin because it's not just rare, it's historically controversial. Why? Because silver wasn't supposed to be used after 1965. So when a 1987 quarter shows up with a silver composition, experts scramble. Theories explode. And collectors? They bid like their lives depend on it. You know it's serious when people are skipping beachfront property to buy a quarter. The last verified 1987 silver quarter sold for 6 figures. But rumors suggest private sales have gone even higher. Up to $1 million. Now here's where it gets personal. You're not watching this video by accident. Maybe you're here because deep down, you feel it's time. Time to unlock that wealth. Time to stop wondering, what if, and start asking, why not me? The window to sell at peak value? It's closing. Demand is surging, but once more of these coins surface, rarity drops, and so does the price. So what should you do now? Don't spend your quarters at the gas station like I did last week. Still crying about it? Grab a magnifying glass, or reading glasses if you're like me, and look for that mint mark on your 1987 quarters. If it looks different, weighs around 6.25 grams, or has a silver edge with no copper, you might be rich. In our next video, I'll show you exactly how to test your coins at home, and the one mistake that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. You don't need to be a collector. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to look. Because sometimes, the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is just one coin. What if I told you, there's a single coin hiding in millions of wallets, drawers, and old dusty jars across America that could be worth more than your car, more than your house, in fact, up to $635,000, I'm talking about the elusive 1971 George Washington quarter, a coin so rare, collectors and investors are silently battling for it behind closed auction doors. And here's the wild part, it looks like any other quarter, until it doesn't. Could you be holding one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to sell it, and how one tiny coin could be your ticket to a completely different life. Let's rewind. It's 1971. Nixon's in office. Gas is 36 cents a gallon. And deep in the Denver Mint, something unexpected happens. A small batch of George Washington quarters are struck in error, not with the usual copper-nickel clad, but with 90% silver planchets that were meant to be phased out by 1970. Yep. A minting mistake. But not just any mistake, a profitable one. Only a few escaped into circulation. Most were melted down, lost, or spent unknowingly on laundry and arcade games. Today, these few survivors are considered modern-day treasure. One recently fetched $635,000 at a high-end auction. Imagine buying coffee with that quarter in the '80s, and now it's worth more than a Ferrari. Makes you wonder, did grandma just pay for your birthday with a $500,000 coin? Go check your piggy bank. I'll wait. So what makes this quarter different? You're looking for a 1971 quarter with a D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. But here's the kicker, it needs to be on a silver planchet. Look at the edge. If you see a solid silver line, you might be holding something special. But don't get too excited, many fakes exist, and not all silver-looking coins are real. The weight should be slightly heavier, about 6.25 grams versus the standard 5.67 g for clad quarters, and now the most important part, only professional grading can confirm authenticity. If you think you found one, don't clean it. Don't polish it. Just store it safely and send it to a recognized service like PCGS or NGC, and please, for the love of Lincoln, don't try to sell it on Craigslist for $50. That's like trading a winning lottery ticket for gas money. Here's where this gets exciting, and urgent. As the coin market continues to skyrocket, collectors are scrambling to complete rare series. Investors are turning to physical assets. And silver coin errors like the 1971 D quarter? They're the crown jewels. Just 5 years ago, these were selling for tens of thousands. Today, over $500,000. And tomorrow? Who knows? The market is peaking, but here's the twist, there's a hidden second variety of this coin, even rarer than the silver planchet version, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, if you're sitting on a coin collection, even if it's just a coffee can full of change from your dad's garage, now is the time to act. You don't need to be a professional numismatist. You just need curiosity, and maybe a magnifying glass. Imagine turning forgotten pocket change into generational wealth. Not just for you, but your kids, your grandkids. That's the power of knowing what you hold. So here's your next step, grab every 1971 quarter you own. Check the edge. Weigh it if you can. Look for that D mint mark. And if there's even a chance, get it graded, because the only thing worse than never finding one, is owning one, and not knowing it. And remember that hidden variety I mentioned? The one rarer than the silver version? What if I told you there's a single coin, a 1967 Washinton quarter with no mint mark, hiding in drawers, jars, and old boxes across America, that could be worth $675,000 or more? That's not a typo. Not $6,750. Not $67,500. But $675,000, for a coin most people wouldn't give a second glance. The real question is, do you have one? In 1967, America was in chaos. The Vietnam War, civil rights protests, and a rising counterculture defined the times. Amid the turmoil, the U.S. Mint made a quiet, almost unnoticed change. They stopped using mint marks on coins, temporarily. For collectors, that was a red flag. But the public? They just kept spending those quarters on gas and groceries. But here's where the story turns. Not all quarters were made equal. Among the billions minted, a few, a very few, were struck in pure 90% silver instead of the standard clad material. A silver quarter, in a year when silver wasn't supposed to be used, no mint mark. It's like finding a time traveler hiding in your pocket change. And one of these coins recently sold for over $675,000. So how do you spot one? That's coming up, but first, let's talk about what makes it so valuable. Let's break it down. The 1967 Washinton quarter was not supposed to contain silver. In fact, the U.S. Mint phased silver out in 1965. So, a silver quarter from 1967 is a minting anomaly, a mistake. And in the coin world, mistakes are gold. Only a handful of these 1967 silver quarters are known to exist. One verified example was recently appraised and auctioned for $675,000. Why? Because of three things: rarity, condition, and historical significance. Most people don't know what they're looking at. To them, it's just a shiny quarter. But to collectors? It's a unicorn. Imagine giving someone a $675,000 coin and they use it for parking. That's a heartbreak you don't walk off. So how do you know if you've got the golden goose sitting in your sock drawer? Here's what to look for. Coming up next, the secret signs that tell you if your 1967 quarter is the jackpot everyone's hunting for. Alright, now to the part that could change your life. First, check the edge. Silver coins have a solid silver edge, no orange or copper strip. If you see copper, it's clad. But a smooth, clean edge? You're still in the game. Second, the weight. Silver quarters weigh around 6.25 grams. You'll need a precision scale for this, but trust me, it's worth it. Third, listen. Yep, we're getting old school. Tap the coin with another coin. Silver rings. Clad coins give a dull thunk. Like knocking on wealth, or disappointment. And finally, the mint mark, or the lack of one. 1967 quarters should have no mint mark. If yours fits all these criteria, stop what you're doing, and don't spend it. Because if you unknowingly spend a rare 1967 silver quarter, you're throwing away a house, a college education, or even an early retirement. So what do you do if you think you have one? Step 1, don't clean the coin. Step 2, get it professionally graded. Step 3, contact a certified coin dealer, or auction house. And if you're unsure where to start, there are millions of coins out there, but only a few like this. The question is, will you be the one to find it? In our next video, 3 more quarters that could make you rich. You won't believe number 2. Hit subscribe, you don't want to miss it. Slow motion shots of old jars being opened, B-roll of older adults examining coins with magnifying glasses, subtle animations of value graphs climbing. Right now, as you're watching this, there could be a coin in your drawer worth more than your car, your mortgage, maybe even your retirement savings. One man found a 1988 D mint mark Washinton quarter, and turned it into $675,000. What's hiding in your pocket change? Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot a fortune hiding in plain sight, and the one detail that turns a regular quarter into a millionaire's dream. Back in 1988, the Denver Mint produced millions of George Washington quarter dollars. At first glance, they looked like every other coin in your change jar, but here's the twist: one small batch came out with a defect so rare, so valuable, it's changed the lives of those lucky enough to find one. And before you say, it's just a quarter, think about this: Bitcoin was once just a few cents, Apple stock less than $1. Value is never about what something is. It's about what people are willing to pay, and today, collectors are paying up to $675,000 for a single 1988 D George Washington quarter. Why? Rarity, condition, and a minting error that slipped past inspectors at the US Mint. So yes, your 25 cents could be worth more than a Tesla. How's that for financial irony? Alright, let's get to the good part. What exactly makes the 1988 D quarter worth nearly $750,000? The D mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint. Without this? Move on. Minting error. Look closely, there's a rare doubling effect on the date and motto. That's a die strike error. Only a handful exist. Pristine condition coins graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are the true jackpots. No scratches, no wear. The shinier, the better. These traits turn an ordinary coin into an elite collector's item, and in the world of numismatics, rarity meets obsession, and obsession pays. Now imagine. You find that coin. You sell it. Your debts gone. Your future wide open. But here's the fear: what if you already spent it without even knowing, if you've ever used a quarter to scrape ice off your windshield? You might have committed a $675,000 mistake. That's why you need to know what to look for, because the difference between average and extraordinary is only a magnifying glass away. Coming up next, we'll show you exactly where to look in your home to find these coins, and how to cash in the right way. Now you're probably wondering, okay, but where do I even start looking? Check old jars, drawers, piggy banks, look through your childhood coin collection, yes, even the one your uncle said was worthless, estate sales, garage finds, inherited boxes. These are gold mines in disguise. Once you find something, use tools like PCGS Coinfax, eBay sold listings, or better, take it to a certified grader. And here's the kicker, most people have no idea how to sell these coins properly. You don't want to post a $675,000 coin on Craigslist, do you? Work with professionals. Numismatic auction houses. Verified collectors. Let your coin work for you. The worst thing you can do is sit on it and let time wear it down. But hang on, there's one more coin, rarer than the 1988 D quarter, that might be in your house right now, and it could be worth even more, if you're serious about living that next level lifestyle. If you're done letting life dictate your worth and you're ready to find it instead, then this is your sign. Subscribe now for more rare coin reveals, tips on how to sell for top dollar, and real stories of people who turned pocket change into financial freedom, because sometimes, your next big breakthrough is just a quarter away. What if I told you, the spare change in your pocket could be worth more than your car, maybe even more than your house? Today, we're uncovering the mysterious 1994 D Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter, a coin that's turning everyday Americans into millionaires overnight. Yes, you heard that right, up to $675,000 for one single quarter. So before you toss that laundry money in the vending machine, maybe give it a second glance. Our story begins in 1994. Bill Clinton was president, gas was just over $1, and millions of quarters were minted, but one batch, just one, contained something incredibly rare, a silver composition mistake at the Denver Mint. Silver in '94? That's like finding a smartphone in a Civil War museum, it just doesn't belong there. Most quarters after 1964 were made of copper and nickel, but this accidental throwback to pre-65 silver? It's now one of the most valuable U.S. coinage errors in modern history. One lucky collector recently sold his 1994 D silver quarter for a jaw-dropping $675,000. And here's the kicker, he found it sitting in a forgotten coin jar. No auctions, no banks, no safes, just everyday change. But what exactly makes this quarter so valuable? And how can you tell if you have one? Hold tight. We're about to get into that. Now let's get into the specifics, because here's where things get exciting, and potentially life-changing. Look just beneath George Washington's ponytail. See that small letter D? That means it was minted in Denver, home of the rare error. Unlike the duller nickel-copper quarters, silver coins give off a brighter, almost mirror-like sheen. Hold it under a light. If it gleams like a disco ball from 1978, you might be onto something. A normal 1994 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. The silver error? Around 6.25 grams. A small difference, huge value. Check the rim. If you see copper peeking through, it's a no-go. A solid silver edge is what you want. Yes, we're asking you to weigh your coins, squint at tiny letters, and shine a flashlight on them like a detective from CSI, Coin Scene Investigation. These coins are extremely limited. Most have already been scooped up by collectors and dealers. If you've got one sitting in your drawer, it's literally like sitting on a gold mine, and the clock is ticking. So you've checked your change, and you think you found one. What's the next step? This is where things get real. How to sell and secure the bag, 7 to 9:30, you've identified your treasure. Now what? Let's talk cash. Authentication, you must get your coin certified by a trusted authority like PCGS or NGC. Without authentication, it's just hearsay, and buyers won't touch it. Valuation: once certified, collectors will line up. Auctions, coin shows, private buyers. In fact, some investors are paying above market value just to secure a rare coin for their portfolio. Selling smart: don't just list it on eBay and hope for the best. Get professional advice. Speak with a coin broker. Join numismatic forums. You worked this hard, don't let a rushed decision cost you six figures. Pattern interrupt: rhetorical question, let me ask you something. If someone handed you a briefcase with $675,000 inside, would you hesitate to open it? The biggest mistake people make? Ignoring their coins. Selling too early. Or worse, spending it at a gas station without ever knowing its value. This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking wealth from what others overlook. It's about legacy. It's about realizing that sometimes, the life you've been chasing might be hiding in plain sight. So go ahead, check your pockets. Open those jars. Dig through that dusty drawer. Because your $1,000,000 moment might be just one quarter away. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin. And hey, tag a friend who definitely needs to check their change. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking coin in your kitchen junk drawer could be worth more than your car? Or even your house? In fact, one specific 1993 George Washington quarter recently shocked collectors by selling for an eye-watering $675,000. And experts believe its true value could climb even higher. And no, this isn't some late-night infomercial. We're not selling you a magic coin polish. This is real money, in the form of forgotten American history. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely at a quarter? Not just used it to feed a meter, but really studied it? Because if you did, you might have found a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1993 George Washington quarter doesn't just stand out because of its age. It's the result of a perfect storm: minting errors, limited runs, and collector frenzy. And while millions were produced, only a handful meet the exact conditions that send their value skyrocketing. And in just a moment, I'll reveal the exact features that turn this quarter from pocket change to life-changing. The Denver Mint, where the infamous Mint mark quarters were struck, was experiencing a unique transition in 1993. Several production quirks went unnoticed, until decades later. Guess even government jobs aren't immune to Monday mornings, huh? But it's those tiny oversights that created a coin that, under the right conditions, collectors will pay nearly $750,000 for. Here's where things get exciting. The coin that fetched $675,000 wasn't even made of solid gold. It was a common-looking quarter that met three critical criteria. It bore the 1993 Mint mark. It had a rare die error, causing a doubled profile on Washington's face. It was graded MS-68 by a top coin grading service, meaning it was in near-perfect condition. Now you may be thinking, but how would I know if I have one? That's the kicker. You won't know, until you look. Right now, someone, maybe even you, could be unknowingly sitting on a coin that could erase debt, pay off a mortgage, or fund your dream retirement. But every day you wait is a day you risk that coin getting spent, or worse, lost forever. Imagine handing a $675,000 coin to a teenager for a vending machine snack. Yikes. The market for rare quarters is booming, especially as more Americans wake up to the fact that their coin jars might be mini treasure chests. We've seen spikes in coin values not once, but multiple times in the past 5 years. And experts are warning, this trend is just getting started. But how do you verify if your coin is the one? And what's the safest way to sell it for full value without getting ripped off? That's coming up next, so let's say you found a 1993 quarter. Now what? First, you get it graded. Don't skip this. Without a professional certification, your coin is just a maybe. With grading, it becomes an asset. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and rank the condition of your coin, unlocking its true market value. Next, connect with auction houses or reputable rare coin dealers. Many will even handle the listing and legalities for you. And finally, don't let urgency make you careless. Just because it's valuable, doesn't mean you should jump at the first offer. Strategic selling can make the difference between $10,000 and $600,000. If someone offered you $50,000 for a coin worth $675,000, would you know the difference? Would you walk away? Conclusion: your call to action. You're not just collecting coins. You're collecting freedom. The chance to write a different future, for yourself and your family. A single coin has changed lives. Funded businesses. Paid for college. Turned quiet retirees into millionaires overnight. So here's the deal: right now, someone watching this video is going to find a rare 1993 D quarter worth 6 figures. The only question is, will it be you? Check your coins. Get them graded. Take action. Because the opportunity of a lifetime is only worth something, if you don't miss it. And if you want more videos like this, breaking down hidden coin values, investment secrets, and smart selling strategies, be sure to subscribe. You might just find your $1 million moment. Imagine reaching into an old drawer and pulling out a simple quarter, a 2021 George Washington silver quarter dollar. It's ordinary, right? But what if I told you that one of these coins recently sold for over $675,000? Yes. A single coin, worth more than most homes in America. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin is turning heads, how to know if you have one, and why time is running out to cash in. This isn't just about coins, it's about unlocking hidden wealth, right from your own home. Let's rewind. The year is 2021. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia quietly releases a silver quarter featuring George Washington. To the average eye, it's just another 25 cents. But coin experts? They spotted something different, something rare. Only a select few of these quarters were struck with a unique die, leaving behind subtle anomalies, errors, misstrikes, and rare finishes that collectors dream about. And when demand meets rarity, boom! You've got a coin that skyrockets from 25 cents to nearly $750,000. Let that sink in. You might have been flipping this coin to decide lunch, while it was worth more than your car. Hey, maybe it's time to check your couch cushions before your financial advisor, huh? The magic of this story isn't just about one coin, it's about the thousands of Americans unknowingly sitting on small fortunes. In junk drawers. Piggy banks. Inherited boxes of just old coins collecting dust. Coin collectors and investors are hunting aggressively for the 2021 Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter. One pristine, high-grade example just shattered expectations, selling for a whopping $675,000. Climbing fast. Graded coins with slight die cracks, minting errors, or near-perfect finishes are fetching 6 figures at private auctions. But here's the catch: demand is peaking. That window of opportunity? It's closing fast. Every day you wait, someone else discovers their hidden treasure, and you risk being too late. Still not checking your coin jar? What are you waiting for? A knock from Warren Buffett? Now imagine this: you find that rare quarter. You authenticate it. You sell it. And suddenly, you're holding a check for $500,000. What do? Pay off your mortgage. Retire early. Travel first class. Build generational wealth. This isn't just a coin, it's a vehicle to freedom. 2021 quarter with Mint Mark silver composition errors like double die, off-center strikes mirror-like proof-like surfaces. Get it graded, don't second guess. If your coin checks these boxes, get it evaluated. Contact a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Every hour, another valuable coin slips through the cracks, lost in circulation forever. And coming up next, we're diving into the top 3 ultra-rare features that could multiply your coin's value, including one detail so subtle, even experts miss it. The road to wealth might just be hiding in your pocket. Don't wait. Don't wonder. Check your coins. The next success story could be yours. Turn on notifications. And share this with someone who might be sitting on a 6-figure secret. Because in the world of rare coins, every cent counts. What if I told you that a coin you tossed into a jar decades ago could be worth more than a brand new Ferrari? A seemingly ordinary 1966 Washington quarter, no mint mark, hidden in plain sight, is now valued at over $675,000. And some experts say it could go for millions at auction. That's right. 1 quarter. 25 cents, now a ticket to generational wealth. Pause, still think those old coins aren't worth checking? Think again. Because in the next few minutes, you'll learn how to identify one of the rarest quarters in American history, and how yours might just be the golden goose you've been sitting on. Stick around. By the end, I'll show you the exact traits that make this coin insanely valuable. But be warned, once you know, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. It's 1966. America is changing. The Beatles are on tour, gas is 32 cents a gallon, and the US Mint is quietly doing something unusual. In the wake of the coin shortage of the early 60s, the US government stopped putting mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. Why? To discourage collectors from hoarding new coins. But in this attempt to create uniformity, a mistake, a brilliant, accidental masterpiece, was born. The 1966 no mint mark silver Washinton quarter. A rare misstrike. While all quarters from that year were meant to be clad in copper nickel, this one was struck in 90% silver, likely due to leftover planchets from earlier minting runs. Wait, silver? In 1966. That's like finding a Tesla with a rotary phone inside. Only a handful exist. And today, one of them is making waves in the collector's market, recently appraised at over $675,000. With predictions it could cross the $1 million threshold in an upcoming auction. It's the kind of find that turns modest retirees into millionaires, and estate sale hunters into legends. These coins weren't locked in a vault or guarded by the Smithsonian. They were found in junk drawers. Coin jars. Shoe boxes. Imagine the fear of tossing one into a vending machine before realizing you just spent a down payment on a mansion. Yep. That's the sound of a $675,000 Diet Cola. Should be 6.25 grams, not the standard 5.67 g for clad silver coins. Ring with a higher pitch. Try the ping test. Check for full reeded edge and lack of copper-colored edge, and if you're really unsure, take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified silver 1966 quarter will send collectors into a bidding frenzy, but here's the twist. Not every silver-colored quarter is the jackpot. And there's one critical detail that separates a $1 quarter from a $1 million payday. So, you've got a 1966 quarter and you're convinced it's silver. Now what? Weigh it. Use a digital scale. Remember, 6.25 grams is the golden number. Test the ring. A pure silver quarter has a sharp, clear ping. The clad ones? Dull thud. Like your hopes after spending it on laundry. Get it certified. Services like PCGS can authenticate it, grade it, and slab it. Once it's graded, you're in the big leagues. One verified 1966 silver quarter sold for over $675,000 at auction. And experts believe this market is just heating up. As more baby boomers and Gen Zers pass down coin collections, demand will skyrocket. Think about it. One coin, changing your family's entire financial legacy. That's not just wealth. That's freedom. But here's the kicker, these coins are being found less and less. The window is closing. Every day, another gets lost, damaged, or spent. Will you be the one who cashes in, or the one who looks back and says, I had one of those once? If you've got a jar of quarters sitting in your home, check them. Weigh them. Ping them. You could be sitting on 6 figures, maybe more. Want to know the other rare quarters that could make you rich? Subscribe now, because this is just the beginning. What if I told you that a single coin, sitting quietly in your drawer right now, could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your retirement fund? This isn't a fairy tale. It's the story of the 1995 George Washington silver $quarter coin, and how one recently sold for a jaw-dropping $675,000. You may have hundreds of these lying around, jingling in your car's cup holder, stashed in an old coin jar, or tucked away in grandma's attic. But what makes this specific coin so insanely valuable? Pattern interrupt, playful tone, and let's be honest, when was the last time you even looked at the year on a quarter? Go ahead. Check your pocket. We'll wait, cue light-hearted music for 3 seconds, then cut back to serious tone. In 1995, the Denver Mint struck millions of quarters. But somewhere along the line, a few of them were minted using a silver planchet meant for collector coins. These rare errors are like ghosts, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, but priceless to the right buyer. Build emotional tension. People are losing fortunes by not checking their change. Don't let that be you. Let's break it down. This quarter looks ordinary, same size, same weight, at first glance. But if it's struck on a 90% silver planchet, that tiny detail makes all the difference. So how do you spot the millionaire in disguise? A clear D mint mark below the bust of Washinton. A brighter, more lustrous finish than the usual copper-nickel mix. Weight test: silver quarters weigh slightly less than clad ones. Check for 6.25 grams. A ringing sound when dropped. Silver rings longer and brighter, and of course, have it verified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. And no, licking it won't help. This isn't Willy Wonka's golden ticket, it's science and scarcity. Imagine finding one. You take it to a grading service. Your hands shake as the expert flips it under the light, and then, they say it. This is the real deal. In 2024, a 1995 silver quarter made headlines when it sold for $675,000 at a private auction. Why? Because only a handful exist, and demand from collectors is exploding. Every day, more of these coins vanish, lost, damaged, or worse, spent at a vending machine. The window to find one is closing fast. So, do you have one? Coming up in 30 seconds, how to tell if your coin is real, and the secret online communities where collectors are hunting for these quarters right now. Behind closed doors, coin dealers and collectors operate in a secretive world of million-dollar trades. And guess what? They're constantly looking for that next big find. Your 1995 quarter might be their golden goose. With the right coin, you don't just sell, you negotiate. You become the seller everyone wants to talk to. That's power. That's leverage. That's legacy wealth. Go check your coin jar, drawers, or that shoebox in the attic. Use a digital scale to weigh your 1995 quarter. Is it 6.25 grams? Look for that bright, silver gleam. Don't guess. Send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. You might just be sitting on a 6-figure fortune. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need Wall Street. Sometimes, all you need is to pay attention to what's already in your hands.